Britannic departed Southampton on her 6th voyage to the Mediterranean for Lemnos on the 12th of November 1916, passing through the Strait of Gibraltar at midnight on the 15th of November and arriving at Naples on the morning of the 17th for her routine coaling and water refueling stop. Unfortunately, a storm kept the ship at Naples until Sunday afternoon, when Captain Bartlett decided to take advantage of a brief break in the weather and continue. By the next morning, the storms thankfully died down, and on the morning of the 21st, Britannic was steaming at full speed into the Kia Channel. At 12 minutes past 8, a loud explosion shook the ship. Doctors and nurses immediately left their posts, knowing that the situation was serious. Captain Bartlett and other bridge officers witnessed water splashing up on deck, knowing right away what had just happened. "We've been torpedoed," he stated. However, it was later discovered that Britannic had actually hit a sea mine. The explosion was on the starboard side, between holds 2 and 3, with the force of the explosion damaging the watertight bulkhead between hold 1 and the forepeak. The first 4 watertight compartments were filling rapidly with water. Bartlett ordered the watertight doors closed, sent a distress signal, and ordered the crew to prepare the lifeboats. With the shores of the Greek island Kia to the right, Bartlett gave the order to navigate the ship towards the island in an attempt to beach the vessel. The steering gear was knocked out by the explosion, which eliminated steering by the rudder. The captain ordered the port shaft driven at a higher speed than the starboard side, which helped the ship move towards the island. Crew and nurses were scrambling around trying to prepare for the evacuation. Meanwhile, unknown to the captain, some lower-ranking crew members, possibly frightened by the events of Titanic and Lusitania, left right away in a lifeboat against captain's orders, as the order to abandon ship had not been given yet. Tragically, at this time her engines were still moving, and the 2 lifeboats that were launched prematurely were dragged into the turning propeller, killing approximately 30 people. Approximately 25 minutes since the explosion, the captain ordered the engines stopped and lifeboats to be lowered, attempting to evacuate all on board, except for a skeleton crew, which would once again begin to attempt to beach the ship. Britannic's engines were started up once again, beginning a mad dash for land, with hope beginning to return as her sinking was slowing due to all the portholes being shut, with the captain giving orders that portholes should not be opened exactly for this reason. Unknown to the crew, this may have just saved the ship. As water crept further up the bow, land grew ever closer, as the skeleton crew left on board braced for impact. Britannic rested on the shores of Kia as all of her lifeboats were turned back to shore, praising Captain Bartlett as a hero. The next day, recovery operations began, pulling Britannic from the shores and quickly patching up the holes in her hull until permanent repairs could be made. Britannic was taken into dry dock, being repaired in under a month, due to the necessity of her being used in the war effort. Britannic would return to service as a hospital ship until war's end, having no major incidents until she was pulled from her hospital duties in 1918. Britannic would be refitted back to a passenger liner and have her official passenger maiden voyage in the summer of 1920 as Britain's largest express liner. Britannic would quickly become the most popular ship in White Star's fleet, being a favourite for the rich and famous, continuing to stay in service long after Olympic scrapping. As Britannic began to reach the end of her service life, one day in 1939, mid-Atlantic, Britannic receives word that Germany has invaded Poland, bringing Britannic's future into question.